Raised in the heart of Liverpool, England, Paddy Pimblett is the type of rising star who is easy to root for.
This kid, to talk about championship stuff right now, it's a little too soon, but you know, he's got that Conor McGregor vibe, man. When he walks out, when he's in the arena, the way that the fans receive him.
I just started following Paddy Pimblett, and
Paddy the Paddy.
I just like him.
Right
you know?
away, one fight.
And, dude, I just immediately like the kid, and I go, I want to see more of him. You know,
Yeah.
like
A genuine character in a sea of uninteresting contemporaries. But for as much as Paddy is an engaging presence in the sport, can he actually fight his way into the highest echelons of the fight game?
Boy. Oh, he's a fire.
Oh, the big right hand! Oh, my goodness, on the ropes! Oh!
I'm a Scouser. We don't get knocked out. Hey, I take that all day.
Well, for today's video, we're going to take a look at Pimblett's career, showcasing his victories inside the cage whilst also looking forward to what 2025 could have in store for him.
I mean, this is a grown man who, by the way, is undefeated in the UFC. Like, I have not seen anything from Paddy that would disqualify him from having the potential to be a world champion. As a matter of fact, I believe he is 2 fights away, and they got to be the right fights, 2 fights away from fighting for the world championship. If they're the right 2 fights, and they go the right way, he will be the rightful #1 contender. Okay.
You notice pretty early on that the ground game of Pimblett has been pretty solid from the start, whether he's on top or the bottom.
As he sits down, looks like he might be finding some space at the top.
Big submission win!
Pimblett is always liable to be a danger, and early on in his Cage Warriors run, he was able to put those elite BJJ skills to work in every fight. But if you're looking for the insane viral clip that truly broke Pimblett into the mainstream eye, his stunning flying triangle over Alexis Savidez was one hell of a way to introduce yourself to the world.
He's got the angle, he's got the extension.
Amazing. Hey, you know I've been wanting to get back in this cage, mate. Nothing better than whipping that flying gear out in front of the echo, man.
The level of technique required to do this is pretty insane, and the fact that he pulled it off so smoothly spoke volumes about his potential. The early opponents for Pimblett, like Decky Dalton, were the type of early showdown that any young prospect should be able to win quite handily.
Hyperextended backwards, and there we go. The referee has seen enough!
Pimblett had just come off a stretch that included 2 losses, so overturning that slump of foam against Dalton was crucial.
I'm out the cage nearly 19 months now, over 18 months, and I just wanted to get back in, you know what I mean? I wanted to get hit in the face, and I wanted to hit someone in the face, you know what I mean? I was sick of just sparring in the gym, but...
And to say he answered that call would be putting it lightly. The sign of a truly exceptional fighter is how they conduct themselves in the wake of a tough patch in their career. And though he hadn't found himself to the UFC just yet, Paddy the Baddy was back in the win column, and momentum was firmly on his side. Once again, all of the elements that made Paddy such a nuisance from the back position were in full display when he sliced through David Martin as his defenses and worked his way to get to another dominant position.
Backfight, chasing that rear naked choke throughout the whole round. He's softened
Big
it.
squeeze and it's over!
Beautiful
Paddy
work.
the Baddy is back!
Wow.
Absolutely flawless performance from Liverpool's own Paddy.
This time in even faster fashion. 90 seconds had barely passed before Pimblett was advancing rapidly, forcing the tap before the fight had even reached a halfway point in round 1. And this, ladies and gentlemen, was the finish that earned Paddy his UFC contract. And here's where the story truly gets interesting. Pimblett's UFC debut was a star-making performance. Not a perfect one by any means, but a showcase for his grit, determination, and solid punching power.
Boy.
Oh, he's a fire.
Oh, the big right hand! Oh, my goodness, on the ropes! Oh!
This matchup showed us that Paddy's striking defense was definitely an issue, and the relatively low-ranked Luigi Vedramini tested his chin more than once. But despite the fact that Pimblett displayed his granite jaw, it was a fan-pleasing showcase, and the brutal knockout to seal the deal earned him a well-deserved performance bonus from the UFC brass.
And it's real. This kid's got a ton of hype behind him, and tonight he showed everybody that he's the real deal.
The perfect way to debut, you think?
Yeah, 100%. Either that or run out in 5 seconds, get a flying knee like Masvidal, but
And more importantly, Pimblett's character and overall charisma was making him a huge hit with the fans. And his fight with his second UFC opponent, Rodrigo Vargas, didn't exactly do much to convince the masses that Paddy's defense was not an issue. But once again, despite getting tagged with some decent shots early, Pimblett rose to the occasion, reversing position and falling into his major strength in the grappling department before scoring yet another finish.
I was gangster. Yeah, I was sick, lad. I said what was going to happen, lad, and it happened. I looked a bit shit at the start, like, but, you know, I'm never in a boring fight, am I? First round finish, lad, and I got it. As soon as I'd done that little J-throw through, that judo throw and put him on his back, I was like, yeah, it's over now. I was thinking of flying triangle him, lad, but he kept holding my hand. Imagine how much it would have went off if I got that.
And just in case you haven't been keeping count, that's 4 first-round finishes in a row, 2 in Cage Warriors, and another 2 in the opening displays in the UFC Octagon. There's nothing quite like seeing Pimblett competing in front of the UK crowd, and when he took on Jordan Levay, there was more than enough anticipation built up to one of the most interesting matchups in the UFC London card.
At featherweight, his ground game's terrible. That he got twisted by Bryce Mitchell says it all. Matt Wyman should be in an old age pensioner's home. You know what I mean? He was on the Ultimate Fighter season 5. I had to watch that when I was 15. You know what I mean? I'll beat Matt Wyman after I beat Jordan on Saturday night.
And he's not the most accurate striker. He has one real knockout, and he's a regional champ. And I've fought all those things before, so.
What do you think he's coming from with this? Is he just trying to get in your head?
Yeah,
Is he
he's
trying
just trying to get in my head, being a little weirdo like he is, but no one can out-weird me. I'm weirder than anyone.
Is there a chance you twerk over him if he gets...
I want to teabag him, lad. I want to teabag him like it's Modern Warfare 2.
We can make sure we still have the headline. The plan is still to knock him out and twerk on him afterwards?
Yeah, finish the fight, twerk, go home.
Paddy had to fight his way through some challenges, but yet again, when opportunity to sink in that patented rear naked choke came, he was ready to make it work in his favor.
That's tight, he gets it! He gets the tap! The Paddy party goes to the next level!
Now 3-0 in the UFC, the time had come for a solid step up in competition. Not a ranked opponent just yet, but Paddy was certainly proving that he could finish these guys, even if it was just always a fight for him to do so. But before he could get into the cage with his next opponent, Jared Gordon, Paddy found himself at the center of a beef that in hindsight looks like an almighty mismatch. The future UFC featherweight champion, Ilia Topuria, did not take kindly to comments made by Paddy about him in the media. And so, these two unranked fighters kicked off during fight week.
You said something about me. I went to your country. I slapped your face. I get at the wasting win. I walk like a king in your street.
Are you talking English?
What you did? What you
Is
did?
that English?
Shut up. If not, I'm gonna stand up and I'm gonna crash your face right here.
Do it then, you little
You
fart.
have another question?
Do it. Do it then, you little What? Do it. Do it. Come on, do something then. Do something, stand up. What'll you do? You'll do nothing. You'll do nothing, you little fart. Go and sit back down. Sit back down, you little puta.
The fight itself never got booked, obviously, but if it did, who do you think would come out on top between the lightweight Pimblett and the featherweight Topuria? We're sure we're only going to get one answer, but let us know your thoughts in the comments below. The fight with Jared Gordon was a real tipping point for Pimblett's rise. Hardcore friends of the sport knew Gordon was a tough veteran with a tricky matchup for anyone who was not truly underweight to elite level. And on this night, we started to see the holes in Pimblett's game. He wasn't able to impose his will on Gordon to any real degree. And by the time the 3 rounds were done, most of the people watching felt like Paddy had lost. But as one of the UFC's cash cows, there were plenty of conspiracy theories afoot when the judges decided to award him the win anyway.
Yeah, man, there's some bad judging, right? There's some of those fights where like, what in the are you guys watching?
Yeah.
Yeah.
To get back to the Paddy fight, I'm like,
Yeah.
I'm getting tagged in all the videos with you, and we're like, we're looking at each
We're
other.
both looking at each other. I said to you right
Yeah.
before, I go, he got it. I go, Jared got him.
Yeah.
And we both agreed. And then I looked at you like, what the f***? That didn't make any sense. I thought it was 2-1.
Everyone walked away when that fight was over, being like, "Damn, Paddy finally lost." Damn,
everyone in our building was like, "Damn, Paddy lost." 100%. There was no, and then it was a unanimous decision. I'm like, "Oh, I thought Paddy won at least one round," and then they announced that.
I would love to just talk to those judges for 5 minutes and say, "How do you see this as this guy winning?" And he's hurting his knuckles with his chin.
Oh, they give him a Christmas gift right now because he clearly lost the fight. I don't think anyone disagree with me in this room.
Do you think he won any of the rounds? It's a lot of people seem to think Jared won all 3.
Yeah, Jared will win all 3 rounds. He didn't win any rounds.
Pimblett's stock took a real hit after this one, and when the UFC decided to match him up with a completely past his prime Tony Ferguson, the fans were not convinced that this was the right path for him. The fight with El Kakui went pretty much as you would expect. Nobody would ever pick Paddy in a fight against the prime Ferguson, but his older and more weathered version was certainly there to be beaten.
Your own country doesn't even like you, dude.
Lad, just because everyone likes you here, lad, it's going to be funny when you're on the floor asleep on Saturday night.
I don't even care about you, dude.
I know you don't. I don't care about you. You're just another obstacle in the way, lad.
You care about me blocking you on Instagram. That's what you care about. You care about the most stupidest
No, I
I'm
don't.
more worried about everybody else.
Lad, you must care because you need to grow up. You're about 14 in the edge, you little nit.
Anybody ever get what he said? I don't understand one word like you, buddy.
You don't have to, but when I'm standing over your conscious body on Saturday night like Michael Chandler, you'll know the boy is.
Baby. Keep dreaming, baby. Keep dreaming, dude.
The fight was nothing special, and the fact that Pimblett couldn't get the finish had some fans questioning his elite prospects even more. However, a win is a win, and for Paddy, it was another step in the right direction.
Paddy, how dare you? You slimy, sugary little snake. How dare you say my name? I'm coming after you. July, I'll come to your backyard with your people and kick your...
But it was his fight with Bobby Green that truly began to shift the public's perception of Paddy's potential within a stacked division.
So I really don't know much about the guy. I just see him doing this little thing. I'm like, who does that? Who does that? I don't know, that's not cool to me, but besides that, I don't pay attention to the guy.
Sure, beating a former interim champ like Tony is a good name for your resume. But that win never really meant too much, given how washed El Kakui was. But his fight with Green seemed like the right challenge for Paddy at the right time.
So you're fighting Bobby or King Green now. What are your thoughts on the name change? I know you said that you won't be calling him that, but do you think that just kind of speaks to how quirky a character he is in general, or do you think it's a weird thing? What do you make of the whole thing itself?
No, it shows what a dickhead he is. You know what I mean? Like, imagine being nearly 40 years of age and changing your name to King. It's embarrassing, lad. You know what I mean? Grow up, innit? Like, as I've said in other interviews, CTE is real.
And that bout, he produced his cleanest performance to date, breaking through the veteran lightweight's defenses with ease to take home a clean first-round submission. It wasn't the breakthrough that would have people talking about Pimblett as a title contender, but it certainly showed his improvements and his dedication to increasing his performance level. And most recently, Paddy has been waking waves online with his beef between him and Dennis Frimpong, a rival from another gym in England.
You sort it out. We have a cage here. You show up, bring a few of your boys if you want, and just make sure that after I knock you out, you don't call the cops. Because we all know what you're like. You're a little snitch. If you're bad enough, show up, you set the time. Don't be chatting all this shit about, oh, neutral gym, neutral this. You want to come spar me, you want to come have a trainer with me, you want to come fight me, you do it in my gym. Simple as.
The beef exploded in a gym showdown, fueled by weeks of online trash talk. The two MMA fighters agreed to settle their differences in a sparring match. Pimblett unleashed a dominant performance, seeking out a rear naked choke that forced Frimpong to tap. But the baddie wasn't done, refusing to release the hold, sparking a wild brawl before things finally cooled down.
He's tapping, he's tapping, he's tapping, lads. Hey! Whoa! Look, he's out.
Did Pimblett go too far? He claims they agreed to fight until someone went unconscious. Either way, the footage is explosive. So what does the future hold for Paddy Pimblett? Well, ask any UFC fan right now and they'll tell you that the clash with Michael Chandler is the fight to make. And looking down the UFC lightweight rankings, it's a no-brainer. Chandler might not get as long a way to clash with Conor McGregor, but for the consolation of fighting Charles Oliveira and Pimblett back-to-back ain't bad. They could even put it on in England. And that just about brings us up to speed with Paddy the Baddy, firmly lodged in a lightweight division's top 15. Where exactly will this ongoing streak of 8 wins lead him? Our question to you is, who would you like Paddy to fight next? And if it is Michael Chandler, then how do you see that fight going? Will it be the youth and dynamic grappling of a 30-year-old Pimblett, or the insane athleticism and power of a 38-year-old Chandler? Let us know in the comments below.